Welcome to the Turnpike Sports Pro Football Show. Doug Weischadle here with Dave Weischadle. We're going to be with you each and every week of the NFL regular season through the playoffs, through the Super Bowl, talking NFL football, going through the stats and statistics. I can't say that word all of a sudden, as well as doing our analysis and picks of upcoming week games. Wow, what a week 12.
Yeah, absolutely. It was incredible. I mean, I didn't do well for the show picks. I did 1 and 2. And personally, I missed a 6-leg teaser by half a point. So, not a great weekend for me, but interesting games.
Well, just to go on a personal note, I lost a quarterback parlay on the Jets-Baltimore game, by the way.
Okay.
Because I know Tyrod Taylor throws a lot of interceptions. I put together a parlay, 0.5 and 0.5, over a half of an interception for both Tyrod Taylor and Lamar Jackson. I figured maybe the Jets would actually come away with something, but did not work out.
That's got to be a big thing for the sports books to have a bet like that. I mean, since we're talking about the Jets, they have not.
Why don't we talk about that yet?
Well, they have not had an interception yet, right?
They are now on
games? They are. That's like historic.
They are on a historic streak of 11 straight games to start a season without an interception.
Wow.
I think we're up to about 300 interceptions already across the league. Jets have none of them.
Wow, that's unbelievable.
As a matter of fact, I think they only have one takeaway the entire season.
Their head coach is a defensive back too, so that's absolutely incrable.
Their head coach had a 94-yard interception return for a touchdown when he was playing as a Jet. But it's very unusual. I have to admit, though, staying with the Jets for a second here, and let me get the Jets talk out of the way here for myself. The first half was really what the team could be doing each and every week.
Yeah.
There's some inconsistencies in the defensive play calling. There's bad play calling on the offensive side, too. Some really mind-boggling decisions. Aaron Glenn is learning how to coach. You're seeing that.
There was a 4th and 2 on their side of the field. And I don't mind them going for it, but the play they chose to go for it with was incredibly stupid. And plus, look, that fumble on the 5-yard line by Breece Hall was just an absolute killer.
He's done that twice now. He did that in the game in September against Miami.
Killer.
He fumbled that away, but you got to stay with him.
Yeah, and by the way, it's not just the Jets. They're not the only New York team giving away games. I mean, the New York Giants didn't do much better. I mean, they did that several times this year. They just gave away games. So.
Yeah, but we're seeing some inconsistent play calling from the offensive coordinator, Tanner Engstrom. This is the first time he's coaching an offense, so everybody's learning. The one thing I did notice after trading away those defensive pieces, that defense has played a lot better.
Yeah, I mean, certainly Lamar Jackson isn't the Lamar Jackson we remember, and I guess he's just getting back up to speed and things like that. But they gave him a tough time.
Yep.
They gave
until the second half when the mistakes started appearing again.
Baltimore offense a very tough time, but then the wheels fell off.
What was very interesting to me, that offense for the Jets. Tyrod Taylor, yes, better. I think he's a better quarterback than Justin Fields. Is he a long-term answer? No, he's not a long-term answer.
No.
But I was surprised that this offense has played much better without Garrett Wilson.
Yeah.
The ball is being spread around to a hell of a lot more players. I think that's also a function of the quarterback change.
Plus, I'm impressed by the wide receiver you got from the Eagles.
Mechie?
Yeah. Pretty good.
Everyone kept calling him a throw-in, but he's actually a decent receiver. He was
2 games and 2 touchdowns? Hey.
Yeah. But the thing is, he was in a wide receiver room with the Eagles where they had multiple stars there, and he was not going to see the field. Sure. And no matter what he did, he doesn't have that kind of level of expertise to match those guys that are on the Eagles right now. So good move by the Eagles, good move by the Jets.
Sure.
Anyway, like I said, we're moving into Week 13 here. Let's find out what happened in Week 12.
Hey, what happened?
A whole bunch of different things happened in Week 12. We got a lot of records being set. Now, we just had on the Thursday night game, we had a record being set. We had 8 sacks against Josh Allen. That's a Texans franchise record. That's a career record for Josh Allen. He's never been sacked 8 times before. So the
that's
Texans
one of those
did
records
a great job.
You don't want to have.
Well, if you're a Houston fan,
if you're a Houston, but if you're a quarterback, that's not one record you want to have.
Houston has now won 3 straight one-score games, which is nice to see. That team is coming into shape.
Boy, the Bills are in trouble. Boy, coming into this season, you thought they were world beaters, but now, my goodness.
Well, the Bills missed their window. I mean, now the Patriots are up there with 10 wins. They got double-digit wins. They're the first team in the NFL to hit double digits.
First team to get 10 wins.
Their 20th season with double-digit wins.
What were the odds of that happening before the season started, huh?
Well, no, it's a combination of factors. Number one, the defense is playing a lot better under what's his name? I can't think of Vrabel. And also, they have a soft schedule.
Oh, yeah. No,
I mean, you can only play what's on your schedule, and I understand that.
Look,
and
you play the teams.
They got the luck of the draw with that stuff.
You play the teams that you're scheduled to play, and, but, look, we're going just get to the playoffs.
Yes.
And they're certainly going to get to the playoffs. So
they do struggle with better teams,
and
though.
That's
what's
going
to
happen.
Everyone.
That's true.
No, I'm just saying they do struggle against teams with winning records.
We'll
they have
see.
not.
They
have not played anybody that is actually really, really good right now. But anyway, you have also the Bills, the Houston Texans. It was the 8th game for Houston, allowing 20 or fewer less points against the Bills.
Okay.
Baltimore's catching up with them. They have now held their past 6 opponents, 6 games in a row, under 20 points. That's Baltimore Ravens. These 2 defenses are not going to be something you want to play at the end of the year here.
Okay.
We've got the Chiefs winning their very first one-score victory of the season. They had 11 last year.
Boy, when you talk about a must-win, that was a absolute must-win for the Chiefs. So, that was their season right there.
Yes. And now the other side of the coin, we have the Arizona Cardinals. They have now lost 6 games by 6 points or fewer this season.
The one game I won this week for the show. So,
also, Jets this season are 0-6 when scoring first. 0-10 over the last 2 seasons.
Okay.
So the Jets are setting records in a horrible way.
Yeah.
Memorable season for the wrong reasons. That's it for the Week 12 games. Let's see what happened with some of the players last week.
What happened?
Derrick Henry.
Yeah,
he is now right behind Jim Brown for 12th on the list.
Yeah, no, it was an interesting that was the Jets game. They were playing Baltimore, and it was interesting to see Derrick Henry. I guess he leapfrogged 3 players in front of him.
Actually, he leapfrogged 4, couldn't get to the 5th.
Okay,
the 5th would have been Jim Brown.
Yeah, 3 or 4. Yeah,
if he had a 100-yard game, he would have passed Jim Brown.
Probably,
but now he's
certainly probably
behind.
Next week.
It's all Hall of Famers he's around.
Sure.
So. He also joined LaDainian Tomlinson and Emmitt Smith as the only players with at least 30 career multi-rushing touchdown games.
Okay.
Going over to Seattle, we had some Seattle receiving records being set by Jackson Smith Enigma. I think that's how you say his name. I always have trouble with his name. 3rd player in NFL history with 75 receiving yards in 11 consecutive games within a season in NFL history. He broke also Seahawks single-season record, which was not Steve Largent. Steve Largent had it first, and DK Metcalf had it.
Yeah.
So he broke Metcalf's receiving record. And also, he became the first player in NFL history to record at least 75 receiving yards in each of his first 10 games in a season.
Wow, okay.
Going over to Detroit, Jahmyr Gibbs set a couple records. 44th career touchdown, passing Jim Brown, Emmitt Smith, Randy Moss to tie for the second most touchdowns of any player prior to their 24th birthday. He's only trailing Barry Sanders.
Wow, okay.
Since he's been drafted in 2023, he leads the NFL with 44 touchdowns. He also became the second player to rush for at least 200 yards and have at least 10 receptions the same game. Tomlinson did it against the Broncos in 2002.
Okay.
Let's see. Anything else with Gibbs? We got a whole bunch of other things with Gibbs here. There's too many to name here, but anyway. Going over to the Giants. Giants wide receiver Wan'Dale Robinson had 100 yards in the first quarter receiving.
Okay, all right.
Giants haven't had a receiver to do that since Hakeem Nicks in 2011.
Again, they gave away that game to Detroit. So, look, the Giants' future, I think, looks bright. I mean, they have I mean, unfortunately, injury has just killed that team this year. So, but no, they got a lot to build on and work on. So,
Jameis Winston, their quarterback for that game, second player in the Super Bowl era to record at least 300 passing yards and 30 receiving yards in the same game.
Yep.
Tom Brady's the only other guy to do that.
Really? Okay.
A 2015 loss to the Eagles. Also, Winston became the second player in the last 40 seasons to average at least 10 yards per pass attempt, 30 yards per reception, and account for 3 touchdowns in a game.
Okay.
He joins Hall of Famer Jerry Rice to do that.
Wow.
So he's in some good company there.
I guess it's the time of year that, you see these records being broke and eclipsed and stuff like that. I guess around the 10th or 11th week of the season, you start seeing these things. So.
And speaking of quarterbacks, Dak Prescott broke Tony Romo's record for the most career passing yards in Cowboys history.
Wow, okay.
So he did some good things there. Myles Garrett. Wow, what can you say about Myles Garrett? He has now the new franchise record number of sacks. He's got 18 already. It's a career high number of sacks. Garrett has 14 sacks over the course of his last 5 games. The only other player to do that was Michael Strahan.
Okay.
He had 12 and a half. Garrett has 14, so he broke Strahan's record for that. And last but not least, we have the Rams, Matthew Stafford, who is basically the MVP of the league right now.
He looks good. I mean, there's a lot of talk about Drake May, but look, I think everyone's talking about the schedule, how easy it is, and he didn't do himself any favors in the MVP voting last week with the pick 6. So but it looks like Stafford's.
And Stafford, according to the Elias Sports Bureau, 27 straight passing touchdowns without an interception.
Wow.
Longest streak since they've been tracking that in 1978. And last player we're going to hit right now, we have an Indianapolis Colt to talk about. And we're not talking Jonathan Taylor.
Okay.
We're talking about defensive tackle Leilou. That's his name.
Yep.
First player in Colts history with 6 or more sacks and 3+ interceptions in a single season. So congratulations on that.
And you talking about sacks, T.J. Watt too.
Passed his brother.
Yeah, passed his brother.
Yep.
And what a play to pass his brother on with the sack and the fumble recovery for a touchdown. So look, when you get, like I said, when you get to the 10th, 11th, and 12th week, you start seeing these records broken. You start hearing the names of past Hall of Famers and things like that. And, you get nostalgia, and you think about when you saw these older players play and things like that. I love it when other players break the record, because you start thinking about when you were a kid watching these great players play.
And, there's also, as you go further along in the season, there's too many records to talk about in a half-hour show. So I'm thinking about maybe starting to put these up on the blog, all of them. There's a lot we skipped to actually fit it into the 15 minutes here at the beginning of the show here.
Sure.
That's it, what happened with the teams and the players. Let's find out what happened with us.
Hey, what happened?
Well, I actually had another decent week. I went 2-0-1. The first push of the season belongs to me. Now I have to do that awful math with the half game, figuring out the standings.
But you're still ahead of me, right?
2.5 games.
Oh, okay.
So,
I went 1-2, like I said. That I felt great about the Eagles-Dallas game. When it first started out, the Eagles were up 21-0. I knew Dallas had to start pouring it on to come back, but I didn't know the Eagles would stop scoring. So I was so early on, I was thinking, they're going to bypass 50. But weird things happened in that game. Dak threw a interception in the end zone, so there's 7 points on him. 6 points, normally 7 points, right off the board for me. Then Dallas and Philadelphia kickers missed 3-point plays. So, So there, what was that, like 13 points right off the board, 12 points off the board, something like that.
I've actually done one total this year. Everything else has been spreads.
Yeah,
I just haven't felt comfortable with the totals this year. So,
but hey, Jacksonville saved me this week. I got one win, and that was Jacksonville. And I think they won by 3 points. I took Jacksonville -2.5.
And if Chicago's defense had held up just a little while longer and stopped that last Pittsburgh touchdown, I would have been 3-0. I ended that was my push to Chicago-Pittsburgh game.
And again, last week I said Chicago's one of those teams. Watch them in the fourth quarter, but that's just absolutely fun to watch.
It was also kind of interesting to watch Mason Rudolph play an entire game instead of coming in for a relief, which was
who did that's what you want a backup quarterback to do. He didn't lose it for you, but he just if Pittsburgh's defense was what it usually is, they would have come away with a win there, I think. But,
outside of Kirk Cousins, he may be the most reliable backup quarterback.
Well, in
the league right now.
Yeah, I think you might have to depend on him, a lot more in a couple games, but we'll see what the reports are for coming out of Pittsburgh.
Well, that's it with our look back at Week 12. We're going to look ahead to Week 13 right after this Turnpike Sports Pro Football Show. Back after these spots.
Moment of need, every second counts. So first responders, delivery drivers, and visitors can find your home fast, even in the dark. This is about more than just a number. It's about safety, visibility, and peace of mind. We created a house number that is not only a beacon of safety, but also a work of art. Crafted from durable stainless steel and waterproof acrylic, with efficient, low-voltage LED backlighting, it's uniquely yours. Choose from 6 sizes, 4 fonts, and 6 colors, and match your home's mood with bright, neutral, or warm white halo lighting. Add dusk to dawn, dimming and timing controls for complete command.
Every order includes free worldwide shipping, plus a 2-year warranty on lighted numbers and all powering accessories.
This is the ultimate home upgrade. A perfect blend of style, quality, and function.
Buy yours today.
Smoked cocktails have never been easier to make thanks to our Halo Drink Smoker. Simply place the cocktail smoker on your glass, light the wood chips until they start to smoke, and then top it off with the lid to infuse your drink with a delicious, new, smoky flavor.
Hey, Dave Weischadle from Turnpike Sports. I just got my dugout mug delivered and I am loving it. Dugout mugs are mugs made out of baseball bats, and they are officially licensed by Major League Baseball so you can get your favorite baseball team's logo on your mug. Just think of it, enjoying your favorite drink while watching your favorite baseball team with your team's logo on your mug made from a baseball bat. They can even make customized mugs. Check out the mug they made for Turnpike Sports. I mean, just look at that. That looks awesome. I've never seen anything like them. If you go to dugoutmugs.com, you'll find out they even make more things than mugs. They have baseball board games, grilling equipment made from baseball bats. They even have a section for gifts for under $30. Head on over to dugoutmugs.com because if you're a baseball fan or need a gift for a baseball fan, you have to check out Dugout Mugs. And use our promo code PIKE at checkout to get 20% off your purchase price. That's promo code PIKE, P-I-K-E. Also, free shipping with orders over $99. You can't beat that. DugoutMugs.com. That's my go-to place if I need a gift for a baseball fan. Well, if you excuse me now, the game is about to go on, and the wind is just right for drinking.
Welcome back to the Turnpike Sports Pro Football Show. Doug Weischadle here with Dave Weischadle. We just did our look back at Week 12. We are moving forward to Week 13. Holiday weekend.
Yeah, no, it's interesting week, especially if you're involved with the contests out in Las Vegas. When
They treat it separately, don't they?
yeah, it's like Thanksgiving's a new week. It is another way. I don't know if it's because you have a Friday game in here too, so I'm not sure.
Black Friday game.
Yeah, so I'm not sure how the contests treat Thursday and Friday, if that's a week until itself, So
basically, the contest has 18 weeks, where the football season is 17.
I don't know
if you want to look at it that way.
Yeah, that's what makes it. That's what makes those contests so hard. I mean, it's just one of those things where you have to look ahead so far,
exactly,
and do your strategy.
Well, here we are. We're having our own contests.
Yeah,
I guess so. We have 3 games each this week, as we do every week. We have point spreads and totals, no money lines. We use Caesar Sportsbook midweek lines here. Caesars.com is our sportsbook for the show here. And again, three games each. We play against each other. Records are on the blog, turnpikesports.us. Click on the blog button. You'll be taken over there. You can find our records on the blog there. And Caesars has a brand new offer for everybody who wants to get in on the football season here. I'm going to read it to you right now. Football is back, and Caesars is game day ready with a great offer for new customers. Place your first bet of $1 or more and instantly get 100% profit boosts up to $25 max bet per boost. Head on over to Caesars.com/sportsbook-n-casino. Register with our promo code PIKE20X, and you'll get this brand new offer of betting $1 or more, 100% profit boosts when you place that $1 or more bet. Terms and conditions do apply. 21 and older. Gambling problem? Call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. All right, let's get to the games. First game of the week for me, the Arizona Cardinals at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tampa Bay is favored by 3 points. There's an over-under of 44.5 at the time of taping here. This is a game featuring 2 teams on 3-game losing streaks. Also, this is a game between 2 teams that are both 5-6 against the spread on the season.
Yeah.
Here's where it gets interesting. The Bucs are 1-3 against the spread at home this season, while the Cardinals are sporting a very surprising 4-1 against the spread record on the road.
And the Bucs are beat up. Boy, that's a injury-prone team. You talk about the Giants being injured a lot. That's in a lot of important places. So is the Bucs.
Yep. Well, the Cardinals, while they're keeping all their games close, are still not winning games, but they are keeping them close, which is kind of fun to watch because they always seem to lose it at the last moment there. It always comes down to one of the final plays, the final minutes. And then when you factor in the Baker Mayfield injury situation, which you just referenced, he's got a shoulder sprain, which was good news for Tampa Bay.
Yeah, not long-term big-time damage, but, he's still injured. Yes. So, you have to keep an eye on that.
But here, can the Bucs really do enough with the way they are right now with the injuries stacking up and their quarterback injured to hold off an Arizona team that is, I guess the term is scrappy because they hang close with them.
They hang tight.
Yeah, they're not going back to Kyler Murray anytime soon, it looks like, because they're going to stay with Jacoby Brissett. And here we have, even if Baker Mayfield is playing injured, you're still facing a team that, like I said, is scrappy. And if Teddy Bridgewater comes into play, we haven't seen Teddy Bridgewater in a while. That's their backup. Ever since Jameis Winston left, they have Teddy Bridgewater there. I think they can win the game. Can they cover? I'm going with Arizona +3.
Wow, okay. My first game is the San Francisco 49ers, who are 5.5 favorites at the Cleveland Browns with an over-under of 37.5. Look, Brock Purdy did not look great last week, but I think he'll do better this week. And Shedeur Sanders gets the start for the Cleveland Browns because he's earned it. I mean, good for him.
Solid start.
Absolutely. But he's still a rookie, and the 49ers have won each of their last 7 games against starting rookie quarterbacks, and the Browns have also lost each of their last 6 games following a win and have failed to cover the spread in each of those 6 games. So I think the 49ers will win this one by at least a touchdown, so they should bypass the 5.5 points that the books put on them. So I'm taking the San Francisco 49ers.
Let's head on over to the second game of the week. Second game of the week for me is the Houston Texans at the Indianapolis Colts. The Colts are favored by 4.5, and there's an over-under of 44.5 points at the time of taping here. Indianapolis is coming in after losing to Kansas City in overtime. That was a tough loss for them. They were up 20-9 at one point.
Yeah.
They just couldn't hold that lead. Indiana Jones did not come out on the right end of that one. Here we have, on the other side, we have the Texans coming in. They've won 3 straight games. They've held their opponents under 20 points 8 times this season. That's the most in the NFL. That's a very impressive stat by the Texans defense. However, the Texans are 1-4 against the spread on the road this season, and they're coming in to face a Colts team. Number one, they need the win.
Yeah.
And number two, they're 4-1-1 against the spread at home. They're 6-0 at home, too, as well. Mm-hmm. That's very impressive by the Colts. The Colts offense was clicking for a while. Danny Dimes, Indiana Jones, whatever you want to call him, seems to have sort of started getting his swagger back. He had a couple down games. They've also the Colts have also covered 7 of their last past 8 AFC South divisional games, so that got that working for them there. And like I said, I know Daniel Jones hasn't played well lately, but if they lean on Jonathan Taylor, again, against a tough Texans defense, yes, I understand that, but you got to get Jonathan Taylor going. He was only held to about 80 yards in the Kansas City game, and Kansas City has nowhere near the defense that the Texans have right now. But you got Texans coming into the Colts, going undefeated at home, the Indianapolis Colts. You've got a laundry list of players that are out for the Texans, including C.J. Stroud and Joe Mixon. I'm going with Indianapolis and laying the 4.5.
Well, my next game is the Buffalo Bills, who are favored by 3.5 at the Pittsburgh Steelers with an over-under of 47.5. I mean, talk about a team who needs to win desperately. That's the Bills. I mean, last week I said it was the season for the Kansas City Chiefs, so that was a must-win game. The Buffalo Bills, this is a must-win game. And, I was thinking about it, and, they're going into Pittsburgh, and, that must be a tough place to play, but listen to this. The Steelers have lost 4 of their last 5 home games against AFC East opponents and have failed to cover the spread in 5 of their last 6 games as underdogs against AFC opponents. Meanwhile, the Bills have covered the spread in each of their last 6 games following a loss, and really they need to get back on track this week, and it starts by beating the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I think Buffalo will get back on track this week. So I'm taking the Buffalo Bills.
All right, let's head on over to the last game of the week. My last game, the Los Angeles Rams favored by 10.5 points at the time of taping here at the Carolina Panthers. There's an over-under of 45. Mm-hmm. By all accounts, the Los Angeles Rams are the best team in football right now. They just beat the Buccaneers in Tampa 34-7. They are 8-3 against the spread this season, 4-1 against the spread on the road. As a matter of fact, their last 4 road games, they've won by 14, 28, and 16 points. They have been blowing people out left and right. The Panthers have been allowing 250 passing yards since week 5. They've been averaging 250. They've been giving up 250 passing yards since week 5. They have here potential MVP quarterback Matthew Stafford.
I would guess he's the front runner for
right
MVP.
now.
He's just having an incredible year.
He has thrown 30 touchdown passes against 2 interceptions. That is the biggest spread between that ratio, the touchdown-interception ratio, in years. Mm-hmm. This is a big spread, 10.5. But given what the Rams have done on the road this year, I'm just surprised it's not bigger. I'm going Los Angeles, laying the 10.5.
All right, my last game is the Atlanta Falcons, who are favored by 2.5 at the New York Jets with an over-under of 39.5. This is one of those games that I knew you weren't going to look at, so I took just to separate, because I got to gain some ground on you. Look, these two teams are not very good. I mean, but the total is a little low, so I wanted to take a closer look at it. 5 of the Jets' last 6 Week 13 home games have gone over the total point line. That's something interesting. And 4 of the last 5 Sunday games at MetLife Stadium has gone over the total point line. So I wanted to take a little closer look at it, and I think both these teams have the ability to put points on the board. The question is, will they hurt themselves during the game with dumb penalties or turnovers? I mean, in the last 4 games...
Jets.
Yeah, well, look, Kirk Cousins is playing for the Atlanta Falcons, so...
Who shreds the Jets all the time.
Yeah, but, look, in the last 4 games, the Jets have scored 10 points, 14 points, 27 points, and 39 points. In their last 4 games, Atlanta has scored 24 points, 27 points, 25 points, 23 points. So I kind of have this feeling, like you said, Kirk Cousins shreds the Jets. So I think this has a great chance of going over. Plus, I'm going to do something a little extra. I think the Jets are going to get their first interception this week. So I might throw a little something on that one. So I'm taking the over 39.5 points. Plus, I think the Jets are going to get a interception this week.
I think they may get a turnover. I don't know about an interception.
I think Kirk Cousins is going to throw a pass right into the breadbasket of one Jets defensive back, and
I will.
I'm not going to say pick 6,
No.
but I think there's going to be a chance that one receiver zigs when he should have zagged, and the ball goes right into a Jets.
He hasn't played in a while, so.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
I'm thinking so. I'm taking the over. I think if they're not throwing interceptions in the end zone or fumbling at the 5, they have enough talent on both these sides of the ball to both the Atlanta offense and the Jets offense can get into the end zone. But I think it'll go over, and I think the Jets will get their first interception.
Well,
how's that?
I hope you're right. So anyway, those are our 3 picks for Week 13. Again, we use Caesar Sportsbook midweek lines, so check the lines before you do anything after hearing the show. Always bet with your head, not with your heart. We'll be right back after this to recap and close out the show. Turnpike Sports Pro Football Show, back after this.
Sign up at jackpot.com and you can bet on the world's best lotteries where the biggest jackpots are up for grabs. Powerball, Mega Millions, some of the biggest lotteries can be found at jackpot.com. Simply choose your lotto game, pick your numbers, or use their quick pick feature, and you're done. Sign up at jackpot.com with code DRAW24 and get a free lottery ticket with your first deposit. Jackpot.com, it's the world of lotto in your hand.
Terms and conditions apply. You must be at least 18 years old and in the United States to play. Void where prohibited. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Welcome back to the Turnpike Sports Pro Football Show. Doug Weischadle here with Dave Weischadle. We just did our Week 3 picks and analysis for the 3 games each we do. We also did our look back at Week 12 earlier in the show. Why don't we recap for our audience right now? Go ahead.
All right, I'm taking the San Francisco 49ers and laying the 5.5 points at the Cleveland Browns. I'm taking the Buffalo Bills and laying the 3.5 points at the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I'm taking the over 39.5 points in the Atlanta Falcons New York Jets game. I might come to regret that one, but I got a good feeling.
All right, and I went with Arizona +3 against Tampa Bay. I went with Indianapolis laying the 4.5 against Houston, and I went with the huge spread, the Los Angeles -10.5, favored by 10. I'm going to lay the 10.5 points, however you want to phrase it, against the Carolina Panthers. We'll see what happens with that one. Those are our picks. They'll be up on the blog after the show is released. Head on over to turnpikesports.us, click on the blog button. You'll see the picks there. It also has our records for the season long as well as the previous week. Check those out when you can.
By the way, I want, if the Jets do get an interception like I predicted, I want to see that clip in next week's show.
Okay.
Just
Do you want like a green ribbon around it as well?
I want to. Let's see what Dave said last week in the wiggle lines and the and do the clip.
Okay, I can do that.
Okay, all right.
All right, that's it for this week's Turnpike Sports Pro Football Show. Again, we use Caesar Sportsbook lines. Check the lines before you place any bets. And as always, bet with your head, not with your heart. And again, check out the blog there. Feel free to comment on the blog. Feel free to reach out to us, info@turnpikesportsradio.com. Reach out to us on social media. X, we have Turnpike Sports, Turnpike Bets. On Instagram, Turnpike Sports Radio. On Facebook, Turnpike Sports. And on Blue Sky, you can find us on with Turnpike Sports as well. So,
and that'll do it for us this week. We'll see you next time on the Turnpike. Good luck, everyone.